A good morning to you on this Manic Monday. Wish it was Sunday. Welcome back. Call to the Pen HQ. Man, it feels so good. Back for the second half. Fastest show on MLB. Absolutely anywhere. Rate, review, and subscribe to this bad boy because it matters more than it should. Just a real hat tip salute to my people out there. OPMG, Jeff L. Brian Rose, making it over with us to the new time slot, 9:30 a.m. EST, Monday through Friday. Thank you, guys. Seriously, you guys are the best, but you know that. All right, let's get to it, right? We got, I think, 10 games. Feeling really good coming out of the break, then coming out of the weekend. I could not be more recharged. But, again, it's all about consistency in the work. As always, we don't throw the ball, right? We don't swing the bat. But we do control the work ethic. We do control the process. We do control all important risk management. Most important, let's get into the thing that we do. Me and you, the Cold to the Pen crew, baby. First up, it's Emmett Sheehan pitching with his eyes closed. Minus 105 even. Again, these freaking books, man. Minus 105 on both sides. Heaven forbid we got to pick them nowadays. The Trolley Dodgers on the road against Baltimore. Grayson Rodriguez is back. Man, so many lessons here. All right, let's do Sheehan first. Very highly touted prospect. So the reason I mentioned that with Sheehan is progression is not going to be linear, right? We've heard that beaten to death, but it matters, right? So if a young kid with top-end talent struggles, not, oh man, his ERA necessarily. Sheehan, 4.35 ERA, not great. However, WHIP at 105, OPS at 6.15, mixed signals from the earn run indicators. K- walk ERA and Sierra north of 5, the expected ERA down at 3.25. Which is probably all the proof you need, because I like Sierra and I like expected ERA, but it's probably all the proof you need that you really can't use a single one of them, right? If you're a Sierra guy, he's north of 5, guy's trash. If you're an expected ERA guy, it's mid-3s, fantastic. And it makes a big difference. I don't know what the right answer is. I tend to look at them all. When I don't get answers from the indicators, we move it forward. Now, Sheehan had the big strikeout stuff in the minors. We haven't really seen it yet. K rate below 20, walk rate up near 10. CSW 23, that ball rate up near 38, first strike 51. Really not very good. But he has been very good around the edges, right? So he's not missing middle, something that I also track if you're wondering what I'm talking about for some use. You check me out on Twitter at John Laghezza. Pin tweet. We'll take you to sharpen the link. You hook up with the document. It's still open right now, but I dropped it to $20 for the rest of the season. I don't know how much lower I could possibly go. We got any math people out there? How many cents a day is that, right? I don't even know if I'm eating 25 cents a day. Did I go before? I think we dropped it. Anyway, point being, get to the pitcher sheet. I put it out every day, and I really think not only would it help you, you can't remember all the stuff I'm saying, but I really think it'll help you just see one of the proudest parts of my methodology, right? And it's compartmentalizing these players and teams. In particular, that's why you hear me read it across. Like, when you have that understanding, when you begin to use templates, your brain adapts to that stuff. And you think of pitchers in terms of surface stats. You move to discipline. You go to elevation and then the bat and ball quality to kind of get you those answers that over the splits. So Sheehan, elevation, lots of fly balls, really nothing great here. The hard hit rate via Fangraphs at 34.5, which is really good. Blast rate down to 3.5, really good. Expected WOBA at 283, right? So there's your expected ERA. Remember, expected ERA directly correlates with xWOBA. They're the same. They're basically the same number. What really jumps off the page here, when I talk about the contact, 304 expected WOBA on contact for Sheehan, really jumping off the page, 214 max lefty-righty BA split, right? So this is interesting. I'm going with more good than bad on Sheehan. I think he's going to be really good today. Let's get into Grayson Rodriguez, and this is again where process and model betting can kind of get you in trouble, because there isn't going to be a model that's going to tell you Grayson Rodriguez is going to be good. Right, so far this year, 45 and a third, not nothing. 7.35 ERA, that's a 1.74 WHIP. It's ridiculously bad. Expected ERA north of 6, double-digit walk rate, 38% ball rate, 25 line drive. I mean, all the things we kind of look for. A 27% homer to fly ball. Talk about unsustainable. But, big shaking butt. 52 hard hit, 13 barrel. There's a lot of home runs in there. 329 BA to lefties, 292 to right. It's been a really rough go for Grayson. But he's been excellent now, right? So we talk about non-linear progression. And then, this is anecdotal, but I think we can back it. And it's my own style of playing fantasy and then into betting. when it comes to the young rookies. I generally don't jump in on the wave because you generally overpay in drafts or overpay through fab and free agency. They usually stink. They usually get demoted. People usually get frustrated. Then they usually come up. People don't recognize the skill, and then they're good. So, like, that kind of checks all the boxes. Like, I'm really excited about Grayson Rodriguez, actually. Here, I got the game log for the minor leagues. These last starts, I mean, he's been really, really good. 6 innings in all but 2. I mean, double-digit strikeouts, 3 of the last 5. Not more than 2 earned runs each of the last 5 outings. He's been really, really good. And again, the double-digit Ks are since you're looking for. So, Grayson Rodriguez, a really interesting spot today. And again, maybe the market is on there because it's split, right? I mentioned the split odds. Maybe the market is onto it, is what I rambled through. The offense is both looking really good. Dodgers last 500 PAs, a 350 team OBP, 864 OPS. Baltimore 358 to 864 respectively. I mean, these teams really kind of get the Spider-Man gif out. 135 WRC plus for the Dodgers, 138 for Baltimore. Both of these teams, really good against righties last 30. So I can see where this one comes kind of split. Man, this is really tough. Dodger bullpen with the edge, last 38 and a third, 2.35 ERA, 110 whip. Gosh, a fifth of a home run per 9. Dodgers bullpen starting to get it right. Man, I thought I had more of a lean on this one, but as I talk through it, it feels a bit split. Jeff L mentioning the K leader. I don't know if that's up today. I don't know if they put them out in these half abridged slates. If they do, we're going to be on that one. I've just checked right now. It's not up as of yet. So let's get into the next one. Jay, I think I'm just going to leave this one. I don't know. I think we have to watch this one. At first I thought it was clearly Sheehan, but then I kind of talked myself into Rodriguez a bit. So I'm going to leave this one. Next up, man, it just isn't a bet to be made in the next one. It's the Guardians and Xavier Curry on the road, minus 125 favorites in Pittsburgh against Quinn Prester and those Buccos. Bucks coming in plus 105 at home. Curry's been okay. I'm pretty sure it's been an opener situation. I've actually been hearing about more and more people that like to bet on openers. Actually, the idea being like they're going to be good for an inning or two, then hitters have to adjust to a new pitcher. I haven't really gone that way. Curry definitely opening, hasn't gone more than 3, hasn't thrown more than 45 pitches, not more than 25 each of the last 2. I guess I could see some viability there because the Cleveland bullpen is pretty good on the year in 328 innings to a 3.4 ERA, 119 whip. As of late, they've scuffled a bit. They got touched up yesterday, I know. 5.8 ERA last 32 and 2/3, 16% barrel rate. Yikes. Stephan, who had been really good, got annihilated. On the Pittsburgh side, it's Prester who just got the call. And hold on, I have Prester here again. This is another one. It's very hard to kind of model these things when you don't have information. And I think, at least I'm very open about it. Like I do put out scores, I do put out numbers, but part of what I like to show is so I can kind of clarify these things. Where do you start a guy like this? 4.3 ERA with a 1.35 WHIP in the minor leagues. That's 87 and 2/3 innings. Not nothing. 22 K to 9 walk. He does keep the ball down, so expect some ground balls. 54% ground ball rate. Less than 3/4 of a home run per 9. So you're kind of expecting him to keep the ball in the yard. I went over to the game log. He has some distance in there, right? The 2 things I look for in the minor league game log is distance. We kind of look for, agreed, Jeff. Jeff saying probably not going more than an inning or 2 for Curry, absolutely. But then you're going to get into the Cleveland follower, and they don't really have a distinct follower. I don't really know what we're going to get. It's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be like Quantrill, Plesac. I'm not really sure how they're going to attack it at the break. That's my guess, and that kind of makes me go, meh. So back into Quinn Prester or Priester, perhaps. The 2 things I like to look for, right, is 7 innings or more. Guys that really get out there. He went 7 innings, 2 of 18. I mean, Then you look for the double-digit strikeout games, only 1 of those. So it kind of looks like a ground baller. So you're going to get into the offense, Cleveland. On offense, they're not going to strike out. They've been actually lifting the ball. Lots of line drives, lots of solid contact, a lot of good hitters on Cleveland. Right? It's not the power barrel dudes we think of, right? 4.5 barrel, not any good. They are much better against righties, against lefties, which is a little bit unusual, right? 335 team WOBA against righties is the Guardians. I don't know. Again, this one is so ugly. These ones are really hard to predict. I come out here and I hope to have picks and make people, profitable and money, but sometimes I think it's just more important that I'm clear with uncertainty and, kind of translate that and let people know that even for as much time and effort and stats and shite that I crunch all the time, sometimes, I used to say 3 scratches of the chin, right? 1, 2, 3, you let it go. Okay, let's do a quick lesson. Why? Because no bet is better than a bad bet. Not just a catchy saying. We can actually quantify this stuff, and it matters, right? These are the things that matters. Incoming feather in the cap, Jay. Mr. Coop on the 1s and 2s, man, my best producer in the game. So here's the deal. When you're uncertain, just don't bet at all. Why? No bet better than a bad bet, like I said. But let's quantify this bad boy. If you start with $100 and you lose 10%, you're down to 90. If you then make a bet that wins and win 10%, you're not back to 100. You're only back to 99. And if you don't understand the difference, then you don't understand why 99% of people fail. And this is the truth, right? Gain 10% to lose 10% leaves you down net 1%. 10% of that 90 leaves you at 99. 99 being 1% lower than 100. Continue to repeat that process, and you will inevitably end up at 0. So for every 10% you lose, you need to win 11 back. Boom, feather in the cap. The stuff that matters, right? No one cares about a game breakdown 48 hours from now. But you just might remember that lesson and say, man, this guy's pretty sharp. Jeff L. wants to feel it deep down in the plums. Exactly, baby. Right down to the stones. All right, next up, pretty boring so far. Oh, I know I got this one. I got some action Jackson coming. It's the Gigantes from San Francisco on the road against my Reds and Brandon Williamson. Much as I like the Reds, that starting pitching is in trouble. We know Webb's a GOAT, 3.14 ERA, 1.11 WHIP. He's one of the innings pitch leaders on the year. Earned run indicators down at 3 or below, 25K to 4.5 walk. Remember, whenever you check that 20% K minus walk for a pitcher, that's really that's just exactly where you want to be. That's the check mark. 30 CSW, check mark. Ball rate below 33, check mark. And then, of course, the bully metrics, right? When you add first strike to O swing, that's first strike plus chase rate, and they equal 100, you get the bully metric for me, 66 first strike, 34 O swing. Logan Webb is a bully, and he's got the high contact. I mean, he's been phenomenal. 60% ground ball. 291 xWOBA for Webb, just downright awesome. And he's been very good at home. The ERA doesn't say it, but don't worry. 3.2 xFIP, sub-1 homer 9, 700 OPS on the road for Webb. He's been really good. Williamson, not so much. 5.2 ERA, 1.35 WHIP through 47 innings. Every single indicator north of 5. Expected ERA and Sierra north of 5.5, getting closer to 6. And I think that's when you start to look at it as a problem. Earned run indicators do serve a really great purpose. Each one has different indications, different, spices in the recipe. So that's why I don't like to overreact to one. When you're getting a signal on every single one of them, 64 stuff plus on the fastball, playing in Cincinnati is not going to help. That 44 hard hit, 11% barrel, only 1.5 homer 9. Yeah, so far. At home, it's been a rough go. OPS nearly 800, 5.4 ERA, 5 xFIP, more than 2 home runs per 9 for Williamson at home. So you got to go with the Giants here. Jay, I get the Giants F5 with the cover. That was the strongest ring that I had on the algo today. That San Francisco bullpen that we were so in love with. They've just been sputtering a bit. I don't want to get stung if we have the lead through 5. San Francisco bullpen, again, when they were humming, one of the best stat lines on the year across the board. Just as of late, we've seen them hiccup just a touch. So give me F5. What was it, minus 130, minus 1? Yeah, we can go with that. Even better, minus 120. Loving every bit of that. That's a for sure. We like that one. Listen, Pete, you know what it is? The public is starting to bet on the Reds, which I get. There is some good stuff here, but remember, they're very flawed. 220-18 batting average, last 500, 26% K rate for the Reds at bottom 3, 31% fly ball, 5% barrel. Not very good. They also kind of kill lefties, and I know I again, my beloved cheat sheets. I started with just xWOBA, but you always want them both. Because you hear people say, oh, the Reds, 350. I actually heard this quote of 350 WOBA against righties last 30 for the Reds, but the expected WOBA was down here 300. And that's like a tremendous difference, 315 being average, 350 implying like, I don't know, 5.5, 5 3/4 runs. 350 x WOBA would get you to 6 runs even. Where 300 WOBA is 4. Remember, that stuff matters. So I don't know. I'm not as enamored with the Reds. I like the Reds. Don't get me wrong, but they're not Logan Webb. So I think this one's a bit of a misprice. Giants are going to have to score. But I think the Reds are going to struggle with Webb. Again, the way he keeps the ball down, plus he's got the strikeout stuff working. So give me the Giants through 5. Next up, it's the Fish from Miami and the Jesus Lizard, plus 105 on the road against Old Man Miles Michaelis and the Redbirds in St. Louis. I don't want to bury the lead. Anytime we get Lazaro on the road at 5 with plus money, if you roll with us, we're hitting that. Jay, give me the Miami Marlins. Let's do it, everybody. Jesus Lazaro so far, he's been brilliant. 3.29 ERA, 113 whip, OPS south of 700. Expected ERA and Sierra at 3.5 or below. 23% came on this walk. We love it. 14.5 from the strike, 31 CSW, 31 whiff, 35.5 O swing. All the stuff you love in the disciplinary basket. 41 ground ball, keeping it down. 39 hard hit. 287 X wall. It's everything. Just shining on lefties all year. Killing it last 30 days. Everything looking good for Lazardo. Love Lazardo for sure. I know the St. Louis offense is good, and we spoke about them kind of getting it together, kind of picking it up. They've been okay against lefties as well. But this is one of the times where I think this is the race to 15 outs. I'm just not going to buy the Michaelis stuff. 4.12 ERA, 1.27 whip, like butt. Big shaking butt. Every indicator above 4 3/4, 16% K, 6.5 swinging strikes, 16 whiff. I mean, he misses middle all the time too. So people, I think, erroneously are like, is this control guy, command guy? I've been including miss rate. So that's that center box on Savant. This is quite literally, especially when you're, again, I don't want to hear an error. I know there are people that are like anti-location because it's about stuff, which I understand. Meaning, what I mean is the sickest slider from Glass now, let's say, it doesn't matter if it's middle, like it's still maybe a good pitch because it's hard to hit. We get that. Okay, I know what I'm talking about. This is Miles Michaelis here. There's not a single pitch in the Michaelis arsenal that he wants or the Cardinals want, like deadlocked, middle. And he's been really bad with that. That number is low. I mean, as high as it goes, bad as it goes. Nearly 9% of every pitch Michaelis throws is dead center. 90 zone contact, 25.5 line drive. I think he's been very fortunate. He does have a 5 ERA at home. I think we see a bit of that, him getting beat up by the Fish. They've been pretty good on offense as well. 293 team BA, 347 OBP, near 800 OPS. They don't strike out. Top 3 strikeout team, top 5 swing strike, top 3 line drive. One of the top 3 in hard hit rates. I mean, that's why I like to look at the moving averages. Waka. Right now, Miami, number 1 in hard hit rate via Savant, 47.2. I mean, that's pretty good. I don't think anybody's really thinking about Miami in those terms. St. Louis offense has also been very good. They're getting on. The ball's falling for them, but they're striking out. They're not walking. 44% ground ball as well. So I think that's the hang-up for the Cardinals. We need Lazardo to just work the edges, get some key strikeouts, keep the ball down in the race to 15. Give me the Marlins through 5 at plus money. Yeah, sometimes, again, I have been very open since I was talking about being transparent and taking my losses. That, I mean, it's no secret, I'm a pitching analyst, and I think it needs to be prioritized in baseball betting. It's what it is, right? The problem is, as we've seen the offensive trend move again towards bouncy ball, whatever you want to call it, and we're entering the hot months, you got to have a team that's going to score, and that's why I want to do it. So I never want to feel like I'm contradicting myself, but it's always has more to do with nuance. So the thing I have been avoiding, right, we have some time, avoiding the Rangers, you're avoiding the Braves. Kind of outright. But we're not going to avoid relying on pitching when our team is hitting, right? Miami's got the stuff right now. They are hopefully going to put up the 2 or 3 runs we're going to need to cover this. And if Lazardo gives up more than 3, then you lose. And that's what it is. You got to take that one like a big boy. Or girl, excuse me. Next up, it's our Nats, Mackenzie Gore on the road against Drew Guy Smiley and the Cubbies in Wrigley. Let's not bury the lead. Mackenzie Gore, this is like one of our guys, Mackenzie Gore, F5, underdog, Yes. Yes, please. Especially the Cubbies. They stink. Let's get into it. I really like Mackenzie Gore. 4.4 ERA, 1.46 whip. To me, that's not what he is. K- walk ERA and Sierra at 4 or below, 28% K. The walk rate is up at 10, I get. But 12.7 swing strike, over 29% whiff, 84% in-zone contact. He wins in the zone. He's suffering from a 3.45 BABIP. That's a killer. Yeah, the barrel rate is elevated. Lefties have had some success as far as batting average goes, but I'm just not buying it. He's also been brilliant on the road. 245 batting average allowed so far this season. 720 OPS. There's a ERA again 4.3. Who cares? XFIP 3.3. Right. Take away the bad. Take away the home runs. I like Mackenzie Gore. I think the swing and miss stuff is really good. I think he looks really sharp. As we know, the Nats just kind of get shit on. Nobody wants to deal with them. I tend to like them, and I think they score when we need them to. They're facing Drew Smiley. I'm not buying. 4.3 ERA, 1.35 whip, OPS up near 800, XFIP near 5, K- walk ERA up near 5, Sierra up near 5. Strikeout rate down below 20, K- walk at 11, ball rate over 37. So the discipline's not great. Like the controls in the area. He's not getting whiffs. He's not getting strikeouts. He has suppressed hard contact, which always kind of been Smiley's claim to fame, which we get. So that's what he's going to have to do to succeed. But he's got a 5.25 ERA, 4.5 XFIP, 1.6, homer 9 at home so far year to date. Give me the Nats. Through 5, then we won't have to rely on a terrible bullpen. Both of these offenses are not very good. Okay, that's just a fact. Cubs 244 team BA, Washington 251, 98 to 97 WRC plus again. We're not here kind of banging the drum for Washington. As much as I like them, they're in like a neutral phase, right? We like to talk about teams and players in terms of sine waves. Similar to trading, you want to back things when they're bullish above the 200-day moving average. Same thing with baseball teams. Avoid it when they're in the down wave, back when they're in the up sine wave. Washington really just in a neutral. Chicago really scared me. 25.5 K rate, 13 swing and strike, 83 zone contact with a 47% ground ball rate as a team. I don't think they have a chance at Gore. So let's get Gore for F5. Next up. Got a couple more. I think we're going to get right out of here, right on time, baby. It's my boy, Sugar Shane McClanahan, minus 115 favorite. You're like, man, automatically, right? You almost auto smash it. They're on the road against the Rangers, against Dane Dunning. And you go, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. True test of intestinal fortitude here. Again, I kind of needed a blanket rule. I'm not going up against Texas, so I'm not going to go up against Texas. But man, given the price, maybe we should. Shane McClanahan, 2.5 ERA, 1.17 whip. I know he left the last outing with the back, but they said it was nothing. Precautionary, he was fine. Passed all his stability, all his strength stuff. They weren't going to risk him. 110 stuff plus on the fastball, 26K, 15.5 swing strike. That's a lot better than the 26K. 33 and a third whiff, 35-0 swing, less than 80% in zone contact rate. McClanahan is the GOAT, man. He's so good. It's just what are we going to get from him and the Texas offense? Texas offense, 128 WRC plus last 30 days, 286 team BA, 345 OBP, 835 OPS, so basically an all-star. Just killing it. The power stroke, not necessarily there. Tons of doubles, tons of contact, 91% zone contact as a team. It's just like, it's crazy, man. 356 WOBA, nearly 10% barrel. So hard to go up against Texas. I'm mulling on this one, man. I really should grab the C.O. Jones and go get it. Dane Dunning's been awesome. He's the reason the price is down there. I know the Texas offense is another part of it. Check it out. Why we popped the hood on these guys. 2.84 ERA, 113 whip for Dane Dunning, 638 OPS. You're like, oh my God, Dane Dunning, reclamation project. K- walk ERA north of 5. Sierra's at 4.75, 16% K. And 6% walk we can dig. Again, I don't misframe. But it's single-digit K- walk, 8% swing and strike, 18% whiff. And that 9% miss rate. He's missing. He is missing. Dane Dunning has not even been like this great control guy. It's 46% ground ball. He's been working the lower half, 7% barrel, 0.6 homer 9. Right, so he's getting by, working the edges, keeping it down, and I hate being like lucky, but a 268 BABIP is really going to help. All the average stuff, 231 max lefty righty BA split. Just awesome. He's been awesome at home. I mean, 289 ERA at home, but at nearly 5 xFIP, 1 homer 9. Again, he's been a little lucky on batted ball stuff. The thing that gets me is the control. Really kind of bother me. Thing also bother me. Rays offense in the tank right now. People are still betting the Rays like this juggernaut. 213 team batting average. 213. They've scored 32 runs in the last 2 weeks. Yikes. 26% K. Not any good. 37 chase. 52 ground ball. And that's where it ended for me this morning when I was looking at it. I just got my memory jogged. They're going to walk right into this ground ball machine. That is Dane Dunning. And then, of course, you roll up McClanahan, hoping that you're going to get 0. It hasn't been the case. He's been human as of late, right? 4 against Seattle, 2 against the Royals, 3 against his Texas team, though he did go 7. Don't get me wrong. We're not throwing away the baby with the bathwater. But especially post a little injury hiccup. And considering it's the Rangers, I think you got to fade this one. But, man, I want to bet McClanahan at 115, no doubt. Again, very honest. And if I sold you on the move, then you should do that. You should value my analysis more than you value my decision because I don't know the future. The objective arguments that we present here, nuance and context pouring out the nose. Call to the Pen HQ, rate, review, and subscribe, of course. That's the stuff that you need to be sinking your teeth into. Allow my template to improve your template. Again, I'm not right and you're wrong. We're all just different. But like my boy Matty always says, we can work together against the books, and that's what we need to be doing. Right? So if you disagree, you should tell me you disagree and why, and you may turn me around, man. I am malleable. Okay. Next up, we had a bet, right? Gosh, Matt Manning coming off the combined no-hitter, minus 125, slight fade on the road against Kansas City and the Royals. Jay, I'll take whichever of the Detroit prices are better, F5 or the full game. I posted this one this morning. I ended up going with the full game because the Royals bullpen is so bad. So I'd say even if they're within 5 cents, I'd rather go with the full game. Again, the Royals bullpen is so terrible. Let's take a look. Matt Manning, all the pedigree, man. I think it was a number 6 overall pick. It was like years ago, but you struggle, man. Again, not linear growth. 3.7 ERA, 103 WHIP, 638 OPS, all looking good. Indicators not agreeing because the disciplinary basket is pretty whack, right? It doesn't induce chases, way too much contact, but he's been very, very, very good on the edges. Really has been, dominating righties. Righties have a 169 batting average, 523 OPS. Domination, pure domination for Manning. He's got the ground balls working, and that's been the key to success. I'm sorry, the fly ball's working, but working up in the zone. He's inducing more pops than usual. Sorry, I had the wrong guy. So I just think Manning's at the edge. The Detroit offense last 500 has not been great, but they're definitely better than Kansas City. Also, one thing we want to mention with the Tigers, being careful with their stats in particular because they've had simultaneous injuries to impactful players. So, right, Kelly Carpenter was missing. Riley Green was missing. That offense can't sustain that. Now with those pieces back in the lineup, they're going to be a bit better, but not to mask it. Neither of these teams are very good. But give me Detroit to win it because Kansas City is just gross. Lyles has a 6.4 ERA. Every indicator is up above 5. Single-digit garbage across the basket and disciplinary stuff. It's so bad. 50% fly ball, 10.5 barrel for Lyles. So there's your nearly 2 home run per 9 in the 336 expected WOBA. 525 xFIP, 551 ERA at home on the season. He's been pretty gross. And again, the bullpen, if we don't get it early, we should get it late. Kansas City last 28 innings, last 14 days. It's a 7.7 ERA, +5 Sierra, whip up near 2, home run per 9 up near 2. So let's get Detroit. All right, then we have a couple of plays. I feel a little better about this today. Next up, my New York Yankees now batting. +110 dogs on the road against the Angels without Trout and Griffin. The winged lion canning. Oh, my God. Severino has been so bad. 7.4 ERA, 1.8 whip, a 940 OPS. I had to bet against my Yankees today. I ended up betting the LA. I hope I put F5. I might have posted full game. I think we want the F5 unless the pricing's really bad. Did I see a minus 125? We could do that for the Angels. Again, we got to attack while Severino is broken. Expected ERA north of 7, Sierra north of 5. Single digit came on his walk, 24 CSW. Just atrocious, that miss rate I mentioned, up over 8.5. 48 hard hit, 11 barrel. This is Severino. That's a 391 expected WOBA, 448 expected WOBA on contact. He's a 302 lefty-righty BA split. Righty's batting 300, lefty's batting 330. 922 minimum OPS split. I mean, this is really, really bad. Terrible on the road. 360 batting average, 1,000 OPS, a 9.25 ERA for Severino. I mean, this is almost like, it's not to say as a Yankee fan, I'm like hedging my stuff. OPMG, check you later. It's just, we're at the point now where we're smashing the trend. Maybe he's tipping pitches. Maybe he's hurt until he fixes it. Like, if Severino fixes it, I'm not going to look at that as a sell to rip opportunity. If he fixes it and the velo is good and everything is good, then you maybe look for the correction. But while it's not even to say catch a falling knife, this is really bad. He's broken, right? Also, LA offense, bad, not terrible, still much better than the Yankees. Yankees 230-16 BA, bottom 5 in pull rate, bottom 8 in barrel rate, just really bad. Much better against lefties, not good against righties. 282 team WOBA, last 30 against righties, yuck. LA coming in with a 275 BA, 344 OBP, 811 OPS. That's a 120 WRC plus. The reason I mentioned the F5, I generally like to avoid the Yankee bullpen, but they've been bad. Lately, they're still really good. The Angels bullpen is what really has been terrible. I mean, their last 33 innings for the Angels, that's a 10.5 ERA and a 5.95 rep. I just checked my own. Yes, I posted LA full game. That was supposed to be F5. I don't ever correct that stuff. I made a manual error and I'm going to hope the Angels do it. But let's get it here. Let's do the F5. Don't tempt fate with that LA bullpen. Listen, they may just smoke the Yankees tonight. The Yankees are not very good. But I should have went F5 is the lesson. Keep an eye on bullpen, especially when they're really bad this year, getting back into the hitting environment and stuff. Next up, Jay, could you check it out? If Boston and Oakland is posted, the Red Laundry on the road against the Elephants bouncing on beach balls. My understanding is it's Nick Pivetta against Paulie the Pirate, Paul Blackburn. Yeah, I can't find this one listed anywhere. I think the Red Sox have been non-committal on Pivetta, though I saw him on some betting sites, which usually means confirmed. Jay has not posted, so if you get Pivetta, he's been okay. I know people are going to want to roll him out against the A's. I think Pivetta is a better fantasy pick than a betting pick today, unless you're playing for the money line. And I generally don't, not say I don't do that against the A's. They lose all the time. But I like Blackburn. That's one of the times that we like the A's. Blackburn, again, 4.8 ERA, 1.5 whip, but the expected ERA below 4, 24% K to 7.5 walk. That's just not what you expect from Blackburn, right? 65 first strike, 34 O swing, right on the edge of the bully metric. People give him a bad rap because the contact rate is so high, but he's keeping the ball down. He's a 27% hard hit rate, less than 1 home run per 9. Blackburn really doing his thing as far as control. Again, you're working the edges with the sinker, and it's worked for him. Boston offense, though, really starting to rock and roll in a very unusual way. Boston has taken on the Guardian model. Red Sox fans, don't get mad at me. A touch more power, I'll give you that. Although, right, Casas is the Jaws. Well, Josh Bell's kind of stunk. Like Naylor, maybe, right? Casas is Naylor. And it's a ton of contact. Check it out. Boston offense, last 500 PAs, 311 batting average. 365 OBP, 905 OPS. Those are objectively excellent, right? That's an all-star. It's not a cleanup hitter. Why? The ground ball rate is too high. The pull rate is too low. But they're getting it done. Not striking out. Tons of contact. Scoring tons of run. Hitting lots of doubles. 333 team WOBA against righties. So that's where I'd want to come off. Again, right? I mentioned this before. And at the very least, if anything, I'd like to make sure that I'm consistent in my methodology. I think that's very, very important. Like I mentioned to people, I was at one point big on F5 team totals. But once we identified the big scoring environment and the terrible bullpens, I pulled away from looking to score first 5, and now I look to go over full game. My unders are F5s, right? So we're betting unders, it's because of pitching. We want to avoid the bullpens. If we're going over, we want to get exposed to the bullpens and a chance at the ghost runner. Now, there are exceptions to that where the bullpens are terrible, the starters are great, but those are more few and far between. And again, have a process, not just people that say they have a process. Like that's, in fact, I believe for most of the Twitter fugazies, that is their process, is just saying they have a process, right? What's the problem? We got to have a process. Talk about how important it is. We never actually see it. Talk about daily allotted risk limits, 2.5% max limits, working backwards with that. How robust your portfolio should be every day. The stuff you get here when you roll with us at Call to the Pen. And if you're loving that menu that Jay's been rocking, we've been using BetStamp.app, tracking it. I think we're closing in on positive. Jay, give me 30 seconds on BetStamp, will you?
Yes, sir. BetStamp is simply just an odds aggregator. It allows you to see all lines, whether it be futures, F5s, player props, all those things. Just an odds menu board. And if you want to improve as a sports bettor, guys, the simplest way to do that is by opening more sports books. So use BetStamp, use this code on screen, open up more sports books, and help support the show.
All right. Yeah. Jay's better suited for that stuff. He's a little more professional than me. I'm like, how do you sell BetStamp? Use your brain. Use your brain. Like, if you're not smart enough to know that that's a plus EV app, then like you don't deserve to win. It's going into a store and there's 2 candy bars on 2 different shelves, less than a foot away from each other, and one is 10% cheaper than the other. And if you're the type, again, remember, this is the same line of thinking. Plus EV thinking, professional thinking, trainer's line of thought. Think in terms of percentages. If you see 100 next to 99, think, no big deal. No, it is a big deal. And if you're that person that sees one soda is 5 cents cheaper than another one, no, it absolutely matters. Okay, it absolutely matters. Don't be stupid. It matters. Over time. Compounding, again, the feathers just flying out, looking like Big Bird by the time I get out of here, my big mouth. So I'm kind of fading this one. Believe it or not, I wish we were looking at these more, Jay. It happened again the other day. These double result reversals. Oakland is like the most perfect example where you bet on them F5 and then they lose the game. It happens all the time. That'd probably be where I'm leaning. If Oakland comes in +5 with a big plus, maybe I get it. If not, leave it. Last game. It's Sonny Gray and the Twinkies on the road against Logan Gilbert and my Mariners. Both of these guys have been downright excellent. I don't know. You can't really. I'm not expecting much scoring at all. Fire Sports, what's up? Welcome aboard. Thanks for hanging out at the new time for everybody. We really do appreciate you. You, the men and women out there in the Call to the Pen crew, mean the world to us. Sonny Gray, sub-3 ERA, 1.27 WHIP, 7.27 OPS. Not to be done by Gilbert, 3.66 ERA, 0.98 WHIP, 6.15 OPS. These gentlemen are going to battle it out today. I mean, get the Spider-Man GIF. They've both been very, very good. You're getting strikeouts. Limiting walks, so Gilbert a bit better as far as the control goes. Gray with the higher ball rate. Both with the elevated whiff rate. Both putting the ball on the ground more than 42% of the time. Both with the max 32% hard hit rate. This one should be really, really good. I think these teams are probably good reflections of each other because they both kind of stink on offense. They're going to have to scrap it by. I'm curious to check the algo on this one. I know when I see these really low totals, like I don't go below 4. Yeah, again, I'm leaving the model. I have a 2-2. I have this one by a nose. I have Seattle eking out Minnesota. You know what? As far as the home stuff, I think we have the bullpen edge also. I think, right? Seattle bullpen killing it. I thought I saw that this morning. All right, Jay, let's get that one last up. That'll be the last action for the day. No, we just want to go with the money line win for Seattle. Can we get it 130 or better? As long as it's 130 or better, yeah, that's kind of my limit for these. So even if it's close, I think we'll get them late. Minnesota, nearly 5 ERA last 14 days. 49 fly ball, 10% barrel. Seattle locking it down. 1.67 ERA, 0.7 whip, 146 team batting average allowed. 77 in-zone contact while mowing them down, making it happen. Also, right, Jeff mentioned Gray on the road. That was the other one. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I really do. I love you guys. Mentioned the splits. Yeah, Mariners not so great anywhere, but I think it's going to be low scoring, but I think Seattle gets it late. I really love Gilbert. I don't think the Twins have an answer for him. So hopefully Seattle scratches off just enough to get it late. Like I said, that will do it for the fastest show in MLB absolutely anywhere. OPMG, Fire Sports, Jeff, we appreciate you Brian Rose, Maddie, all the crew out there. New time slot. Hopefully, as we get further in, people will maybe start adjusting. We'll get some more of those beautiful, smiling faces in here live every day. While we can, rate, review, and subscribe. Press the button, press the bell, press the thumb, and all that other stuff because it matters more than it should. Audio listeners, 5-star reviews to the front of the line. Jump on over to YouTube where Jay will show us our plays. Leave a comment. Let us know how good of a job we're doing. Make sure to tag Rob Pizzola and myself on Twitter to repeat that exact sentiment as people get over into the pigskin. Speaking of which, if you are into football, my ranks and stuff are coming out. Maybe today. It should have been out already. Everyone, have a beautiful Money-Matic Monday. Enjoy the games. Enjoy your day. And when we done with the book, enjoy the pay. Remember, when you work this hard, there's a lot less like luck. We'll catch you tomorrow at 9:30, yo. Peace.